My name is Robbie Thompson. I'm a 19-year-old double heart transplant recipient from Courtenay, British Columbia. And my life, twice in a row, was saved by complete strangers, two sets of complete strangers that I'll probably never meet in my life. And I'm alive because of them. And the feeling of that is one of the most indescribable feelings that you can possibly imagine. It's a gift of life. When I was 5 months old, I was diagnosed with a heart disease called idiopathic dilated cardiomyopathy, which enlarged the left side of my heart, and it was a miracle that I could even operate at only 5 months old. And for roughly about 11 to 13 months, my mother, my father, and I, and this was back in 1999 when they didn't really have pediatric heart transplants in Vancouver and Victoria. We had to go all the way to Toronto Sick Kids Hospital. This is halfway across the country, and stayed in the Ronald McDonald House there. And I mean, for all it's worth, it was a nigh apocalyptic environment is the best way I can describe it. We were almost bankrupt. My dad lost his business. My mom, she wouldn't leave my side at any point. And by July 21st of 1999, I was only given 3 days to live. And mind you, I was 18 months at this time by now. I was just a child. All I had known was suffering by this point, but on that same day, through some kind of godly miracle, that's the day the heart came in for me. And it gave my family, and I, of course, something that we would have never had together, which was a life, the true concept of living as a family, with all the sorrows and joys that accompany that. I was able to walk around, I was able to play, I had a little brother named Luke who I treasure dearly, and I did everything that every toddler should be able to do at that age, which I would never have had the opportunity to do if I never had that transplant. But of course this was only temporary, as in about 2002 my heart rejected, soon after my fourth birthday, some form of coronary artery disease, in which caused me to have yet another transplant, a need for another transplant, and another many months of hardships were before us. And this was also during an infamous SARS outbreak at the time, back in Toronto Sick Kids Hospital where we were before. This time with yet another, my brother, who was hardly a year old at the time. Though fortunately, despite everything that was thrown at us, I received another heart on May 1st of 2003. And that was my last transplant. I was 5 years old. And since that time, things have truly taken off. And having survived the ordeals of tireless health problems, it is thanks to the numerous health workers and the sacrifices of, again, people that I will never know. I've been able to have this fantastic life filled with friends and family and adventures. I was able to graduate high school. I've been able to participate in all sorts of sporting events and music, and of course further the cause of promoting organ donation wherever I can. And it's an unbelievable feeling to be able to live, and the community itself is quite astounding. In addition to being able to do all the sort of what could be called normal life stuff, I've been able to participate in the World Transplant Games in Australia in 2009, as well as numerous other Canadian transplant games across the country. And I've even been able to speak at numerous events representing Canadian Blood Services and Sick Kids Hospital. And without this gift that I was given, I would have never, ever been able to have the ability to live a life as anybody should, nor would I be able to speak to you now. And I find there's a great amount of bittersweet joy to be had from the paradox that up to 8 people or more could be having a second chance at leading a fulfilling, wonderful life at the cost of one person's sacrifice. Never would there be days that I could ski or bike or be with family and friends, my wonderful girlfriend, and get to travel this big wide world like I want to do. If I didn't receive either of my hearts, this obviously wouldn't be possible. And both the joys and sorrows that define life itself would be an entirely alien concept to me, wherever I would have ended up had I not survived these ordeals, whatever the beliefs behind that might be. And I suppose one thing to say is that Canadian Blood Services advertises that it's in you to give when promoting blood donation. And I think the same goes for organ donation as well. It really is this transformation of an utterly tragic event that can turn into this absolutely wonderful miracle. And every single transplant recipient that I've met, particularly through the transplant games, is just full of this incomprehensible joy and satisfaction with life. The joy from the fact that they're alive and that they can see and touch and taste and hear and smell everything in their wake. They can walk, they can talk, dance, and laugh. Even if somebody lives for only a few years after receiving a transplant, those are still years that they never would have had otherwise. And I think there's no greater appreciation or gift than that. So with that I say, please consider organ donation. It will save lives.